Hi guys, welcome to the Older Sister Diaries, where we talk about anything an older sister would talk to you about. My name is Giselle, and today's topic is how to get over your ex, or at least one thing that can help you get a little bit closer to that point. My credentials are that I've been in 5 relationships now and seen at least a dozen different therapists. Are those good credentials? Honestly, no, but trust me, this helped. I think that there's a big difference between a teenage first love relationship versus something you get involved in when you're a little bit more older and mature and already really know who you are. So this is definitely leaning towards more of like that teenage relationship where you kind of fall for someone, you really get along with them, they make you laugh, they make your day, you want to see them all the time, and it's a very lovey-dovey puppy relationship. And I've always said it's so easy to love. It's so easy to get attached to someone. I think that's why proximity crushes are so real, because literally just being with someone every day, whether you're working together, whether you have classes together, whether whatever situation you're in, it's really easy to kind of build a care and a fondness for someone when you're always with them. And it's really beautiful, honestly, to have these butterflies in your stomach and these feelings that make you feel like you're over the moon and you just want to be a teenage girl and like jump in your bed when he texts you, and like it's exciting. But with every high comes a low. And because these emotions are so intense and fun and enjoyable to be in, it's really easy to get lost in them and to kind of get carried away. And sometimes we get so carried away to the point where we realize halfway into the relationship or whatever point into the relationship that we don't actually want to be in this relationship, that this person is not really for you, or maybe you guys don't actually like each other as much as you initially kind of built up in your head that you do. And then you realize, maybe I don't want to be here anymore, or they realize that, and things happen, and whether situationally or you just weren't mature enough to say, hey, I'm not really feeling this anymore, let's break it off. There's always going to be emotions that follow after a breakup. It's completely normal, and they can be just as intense and as fantasy-like as it was getting to that point where you were completely head over heels for this man. This is where having someone that really grounds you back into reality can be so helpful, because you will experience those feelings and you will have to just go through. Everyone has their first breakup, their first heartbreak, and it's also a really special thing that everyone goes through and kind of makes up the human experience. Add a little badge to your patch. You just did that. You're going through that. You're going to get through it and you're going to be completely fine. But in the moment, it does not feel completely fine at all. I think a lot of people even describe their first heartbreak as, I can't live without them. I don't know what I'm going to do after this. I can't imagine myself without them or what my future will look like. And again, these feelings are completely valid and they make sense after you've been hanging out with this person every single day and really built a connection and a bond. But remember, you've been without this person for however many years you've been alive. It will go back. The high and the low mountain will even out to a valley again. But this one thing really helped me out when I was going through my very first real breakup with a boy. It was honestly so simple, but such good advice that it stuck with me to this day. So 9 years ago, my therapist told me, so basically I was talking to my therapist and I was telling him how I think maybe one of the reasons why I'm so down is because I'm trying to get over this boy, but I'm constantly thinking about him or thinking about how I wasn't good enough for him to love me. And I was just so confused as to why I couldn't get over him, because I knew that I didn't want to be in the relationship anymore, yet I still thought about him all the time. And he said to me, Giselle, you have to separate the person from the characteristics that you really liked about that person. Because the person is gone. The person, it didn't work out. He's in the past. It's fine. But the characteristics of that person are things that you can pull out and you can find in your future person or in another person, whether it be your friend or your next partner. Because at the end of the day, it's those characteristics that you initially clicked with, and those characteristics are what you liked about that person. Because obviously it didn't work out and that person was not your person, but the traits that they had and certain behaviors and certain things that they did are what you really liked. And I think it's little things like that that really bring you back to reality and help you be hopeful, because you often feel a feeling of despair or like, what's next, or what am I gonna do without this person? Just a bunch of feelings that I think are truly rooted in like a feeling of hopelessness and of despair. And what you need to do is remember reality. And that really helped me because it's true. So what he made me do was we brought a piece of paper out and I put the name of my past 2 relationships at that point down, and I made a little line down the middle for each one of them. And I think I wrote down both the traits that I didn't like so that I could just be aware of that and know that, when I see these traits, red flag for me, I don't like them. I'm not compatible with that. And the things that and on the other side of the list, I wrote down the things that I really did like about them, so that these things can be what I know that I need to find in my next relationship or just in any relationship. So an older sister-esque, we don't have to do this alone. Let's do it together. I just got out of a relationship, I want to say like maybe a month ago. I remember it was on a Tuesday because I went to Bible study afterwards, but I think it's been maybe like 4 or 5 Tuesdays by now. So, and I actually haven't done this exercise yet because, I've honestly gone through my fair share of breakups. So I kind of knew how to handle this one a little bit better. And also this is probably the most grounded in God that I've been throughout my whole life. So God really helped me through it, and just having a little bit of his understanding and his wisdom in my soul already, or in my spirit already. So, that eased a lot of the process and just made it a lot easier and faster for me. But I did get advice from an older, wiser woman to do this exercise as well when I was first kind of like navigating whether or not I was still feeling the relationship and whether it was the best thing or not to continue it. I went to someone for advice, and she told me to make a list of like all like kind of like my ideal future husband. And it's obviously a little bit just for fun, in the sense that no one's perfect and you're never going to find a person that fits every single trait on your list. That's just impossible, girl. That's just not gonna happen. But what is important is that they hit the core values, whatever that may be for you. I feel like I'm currently trying to root a lot of my values in the Bible's teachings, but again, it's those core things that are non-negotiables, and then everything else can follow. Like, maybe he's not going to be 6'2", but he will be a man of God. Okay, so here's my list. I'm using a fake name, obviously, and I'm just gonna do the things that I like about this person, the things that I really admired and enjoyed, and what initially attracted me. Oh, you can see my light. What initially attracted me to this person. And I think this is like a fun, positive spin on it, because now this is gonna be like my dream boy list. Well, it's not even gonna include everything, because obviously like one person's not gonna. Okay, number 1. Has an artistic eye. I really liked this because I think it really pushed me to see more beauty in the world. Oh my God. To see more beauty in the world and kind of open that section of my mind for me where I'm like, hey, I don't always have to be so logistic and on point and prim and proper and perfect and just try to optimize my life as much as possible. I can actually just enjoy the life in front of me in this beautiful world that I live in, and seek it out with my own eyes, because I used to think that doing kind of like creative or artistic things is a waste of time because you're not getting anything out of it. But being creative and expressing yourself, or consuming other people expressing themselves, is a lot of what makes life and enjoyable. it's good to slow down and to not always be work, work, work. Adventurous and tries new things. I think I really need someone who is just as down to just go out and try something new, whatever that may be. And if we don't like it, cross it off the list. Don't ever have to do it again. But I love doing random little side quests and random things. Like, I think the other day, someone from the gym was talking to me about the yoga class they do there and how good it is, how good the teacher is, and how he's just been doing it and he really enjoys it. And he asked me if I wanted to do it, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it. And just like that, I realized that I kind of do like yoga and I would want to keep going at it. So I think I need someone with that same energy. Is good with kids / patient. He was so good with kids. I could just see it the way he interacted with my sister. He had this way of almost like locking in with them, as in like understanding kind of what they're interested in and where their mind is at and really connecting with that. And I thought that was really great and just came so naturally to him. And I definitely want someone who can kind of connect with that, because it was just amazing to see. Good sense in fashion. Kind of goes with the has an artistic eye, but I like that he was into clothes, and he kind of got me more into like paying attention to what I wore. Oh my gosh, I remember one time I showed up to school in the most terrible outfit you could ever imagine. I don't even want to tell you guys what it was. Well, I'll tell you. It was like a pink Hello Kitty sweater and some blue jeans, but it was just not it. And like these, and like Air Forces, like, oh my. But after a while with him, I kind of was able to like, because I've always liked fashion, I've always liked clothes. Maybe like I didn't have a good sense of fashion, but I've always liked it. Like, if you went to high school with me, you could tell that I was like more experimental with my clothes. But yeah, he kind of helped me lock back into fashion, and it's been really fun, honestly, since. Like, I wouldn't call it a hobby, but putting my outfit together and just really like putting on something that I think is so cute and like a vibe and ain't down is so fun. So thank you for that, Garrett. Okay, I'm gonna do one more because this video is getting a little long, but let's see. Let's think this one out together. It's a foodie, but I'm just gonna name that one out. I like that. I want my man to be a foodie with me. Let's do like a little deeper one though. Like, what's something that I really... Okay, I would say how he truly did want to help others. Like, has a heart to help other people. I think he definitely had big goals, and I want someone who's ambitious and driven and motivated, and especially motivated by people, because I think that's also something that he helped me learn, is being with others, serving others, building community, feeling like you belong somewhere is a big part in life. And life would not be the same if we didn't have each other. Like, it's kind of like that concept of the horror movie where everyone else on the planet disappears except for you. Like, that sounds so miserable. That genuinely used to be my biggest fear when I was a kid, as if that would ever happen. But those were some of the things that I put on my list. Go out and make your list. I think this really does help kind of dissociate or differentiate and kind of separate the person and the characteristics that you liked about that person, and kind of helps you let go of the person and just hold on to these characteristics just in the back of your mind for the next person, because there will be a next person and there will be your person, and all will be good. And yeah, that was just my one little tip that really helped me at one point. I hope that kind of helped you spark your mind or think about it in a more positive spin. And obviously there's so much more that goes into getting over a breakup and the whole process of it. But just know that in time, you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I like spared so many of my feelings into that, in the sense where it's like, it's kind of like that Olivia Rodrigo song or her whole album where, there's like kind of a storyline, and she's first like, very like much in love, and then she realizes, oh, maybe this is not really working out how I thought it would. And then there's like the song Less, and she's just like, if you if loving me means crying at the LAX curve, then I wish you loved me less and all that. You know, there's like definitely an emotion and a process to it. But then at the end, she's kind of like realizing how, oh, like, you know, I'm completely fine. I can't believe, like, you know, I went through so much over that. You know, when in reality, like, it was all, I'm here and I'm fine. And it was whatever. Not whatever, but you know. Well, I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Older Sister Diaries. Come back for the next one. Yeah, I hope you have a blessed day, and I'll see you next time.